In this video on No Man's Sky, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make your very own starship. In this video in particular, I'm going to be showing you how to make your own solar starship. First off, you will need to head to the nearest space station. If you head to the very back of the space station, there is a ship module or table, I guess, that you can interact with over here, the Starship Fabricator. This is going to require 4 unique parts in order to build your own ship. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get all of these. The first and most important one is the reactor core, which is something that you can go ahead and purchase immediately as long as you have the nanites for it. So if we go ahead and we go to the top section over here and you make your way to the Starship store, the research station here, and you speak with the NPC, you'll see that they will sell a C-class reactor, a B-class, a A-class, and a S-class. This is going to determine the class of the ship. You're most likely going to want to get the S-class reactor if you can afford it with the nanites. Alternatively, you can always go ahead and go for the other ones, but if you're making your perfect ship, go for S-class. And we're going to go ahead and store this in our exosuit where we can remember it for later. Now back at the fabricator, you'll see that we can go ahead and put this reactor core in here, and this will give us an S-class ship, but we don't have a fuselage, wings, or even a thruster. Not to mention that you can do this for different ship types, and you have to collect these parts individually, which is what I'm going to show you in this video on how to do. So we get the option of doing a fighter, hauler, explorer, or solar type ship. In order to craft the ship, we're going to need a cockpit, wings, and a sail from 3 other solar ships that you have to salvage and dismantle. But first we have to go find those ships. Now the other ships are quite easy. You can find them on pretty much most systems, but solar ships can be found on pirate systems. So we're going to the galaxy map. So while you're looking at stars in the galaxy map, you're looking for one that has a skull icon, right? So this one I know over here has a skull icon. You can see it quite clearly over there. It has a skull icon. This means if I go ahead and I select this and I hit the expand key, it says it is pirate controlled, which is what we want because it's going to have the pirate space station and it's going to have a much higher chance of having solar spaceships. So let's go ahead and warp there. And you'll see instead of a space station, this is going to have an outlaw station. Now, one way to find these ships is either at the outlaw station, which I think is the second best option. And essentially when you're here, you're just going to be waiting for solar ships to land on the space station so that you can purchase the ship from the NPC if you like the ship. And if you didn't know how to tell what type a ship is, you can always use your scanner, point it at a ship, and you can always see the quality of the ship as well as the value, right? So we can see that this is a fighter ship. It is an S-class quality ship, and it sells for 8.1 million units. Now, personally, I think it takes way too long to do this on a space station, much like this. In fact, the best way is to find a trading outpost. And the way to do this is by, well, going to the anomaly to get the technology. At the anomaly, we're going to head straight to the research stations right at the very back. So let's go ahead and make our way there. We're going to go ahead and interact with the Starship one, which is the first one on the left. Here you'll have the option to unlock the economy scanner, which is a long-range sensor scanner that's going to allow you to find trade terminals and, trade outposts very, very easily. And it's quite easy to install on your ship. So the way that this works is in your inventory where you install that technology, we're going to go ahead and activate the economy scanner straight from your starship. You just have to press the button there. You can see this will then go ahead and open up the screen. You can go ahead and locate trade outpost. It will give you the location of one and you just have to quite simply fly there. Now, when you come up to the trading post, you're not going to want to land on the landing pads that it has. Instead, you're going to want to land away from it, like somewhere over here, like, just outside of it. We want to keep all of the landing bays open. And now we're going to go ahead and fly on top here. And you'll see that ships will be landing as you're doing this whole process. Man, this looks almost like my ship. You can see this is a solar ship from the outlaw system that we're in. And now you have to decide whether you like the ship in 3 different capacities. Whether you like the wings, so the module over here and how this looks. So you can see this wing in particular. This also affects what the thrusters at the back of the ship look like, if that is something that you like. And then there's also the fuselage, which is known as the cockpit, which is the middle section. You can see I'm using this exact same one, the one that has like the kind of like ears. I like to call them ears, but you'll see different solar ships have different styles. Like, for example, if I fly to this one that is right over here on the space station as well, you can see this one has a different set of wings and a different cockpit, right? So it's an entirely different looking starship. Right? I really like the wings on this one. I think the wings on this one look incredible. Look at that rotating. It looks cool. It's got really nice little looking like jet engines. It has a really wide wingspan. In fact, I think this is probably the same as my ship. That's probably why I like it so much. Let's say I like this one for the wings. You just have to go ahead and speak to the NPC who owns the ship. And then we're going to make an offer to trade for the Lifeform Starship. At this point, you can also see what the sails look like. You can see it's got the rectangle sails in the blue color, but don't worry about the color. We can change the color of everything later on. And also don't worry that it is a C-class. We're going to go ahead and negotiate for the price because I like the wings, and we're going to have to buy the ship. So yes, you're going to have the units available for this. We're going to buy and add it to our collection. And now since we bought it, we have to go ahead and move it off of this platform because we're going to stay here and see if we can buy another one. So we're going to park it right over here. And now you'll see there is a blue one here that is available as well that just landed. We can go ahead and have a look what this one looks like. It looks like it has those previous wings that the first one did, but the cockpit is different from all three of them, right? So this cockpit doesn't have any sails on it. It's actually kind of interesting. You can see the back of it has a very thick 3 like turbojet engine things there. I kind of like that cockpit. I think the cockpit looks cool. We can go ahead and speak with the NPC, make an offer on their Starship. You can see they also have the rectangle sails. I don't really want the rectangle sails, but I do want the cockpit that they have. So I am going to take the ship just for the cockpit. We're going to go ahead and purchase it. Again, we're going to have to move the Starship out of the way. So I'm going to park it next to my other two over here. And there you can see is another solar ship landing just in time. Now, I'm really lucky for these to be landing in quick succession. That is pretty lucky, but sometimes you might have to be waiting until some of the slots here fill up with the ship that you're looking for. Let's go ahead and see what the sails on this one look like because we've got the cockpit, we've got the wings, we now just need a very nice sails. And you can see these sails are the, I don't know what shape to call these, but this is the same ones I'm using on my ship. I think these are the best looking in my opinion, but of course it's up to you on what you like for your ship. I'm going to negotiate for price. I am going to purchase this one. It is a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but that's fine. Cool. Now we have the 3 starships that we need with the 3 parts. Now, it can get really confusing at this point. So what I do recommend is landing all the ships where you can see them all, right? So I know this one, I want the sails. So I'm going to go inside the ship. I'm going to go inside it. I'm going to rename the ship and I'm going to call this one Sails because I know I'm going to rip the sails from this one. So this ship is just called Sails. This ship, I wanted the cockpit. So I'm going to get inside here. I'm going to rename this one to Cockpit. So Cockpit, there we go. And then the last one, I want the wings. So I'm going to go into this one. And we're going to rename this one to Wings, just like that. Cool. So now we have all 3 ships that we want with all the 3 parts that we desire. So all we got to do is go ahead and make our way to the space station. And now we just make our way to a space station. And now we're going to head to the very back of the space station. Next to the fabricator on the left-hand side is the salvaging selection. But first, you're going to have to change the ship that you're using. So here we're going to open up our quick menu. We're going to go to the summon vehicles. We're going to switch dock ship. And we're going to look for the ones called Wings, Cockpit, and Sails. So let's start out with the sails. You'll see the image of your ship will show over there. That is the right ship. Make sure you are salvaging the correct one and you don't accidentally destroy your main ship. So we're going to enter the Starship outfitting and we're going to go to begin salvage analysis. And we're going to extract customization module. And here you'll be given the option to salvage one of 3 parts of the ship, the cockpit, the wings, or the sails. This ship is the Sails Starship. As you can see, it says over here. So that also gives you a warning so that you know what ship you're dismantling. So the Sail ship, we're salvaging the sails. Perfect. We'll now get this as a part in our inventory. You can see it looks like this, Hex Solar Sail. Then we're going to go ahead and summon vehicles and we're going to change to our next one. Let's call this we can do the wings. Let's go into this machine, begin salvage analysis, extract customization module, and we're going to salvage wings from the wings ship. And then go ahead and summon your other one, the cockpit. So this one over here, begin salvage analysis, extract customization module, salvage cockpit. Fantastic. Now you'll see that we have all the parts available that we need to build this ship. Now we can go to the Starship Fabricator over here. We can go ahead and click the reactor core, select the S-Class one or whichever class one. And now you can go ahead and add things like the cockpit. You can see of the available options. So if this isn't the best one that you want, you like the look of this one, you can always search different outlaw systems until you find solar ships that have that exact look. Alternatively, just pick the one that you've got. Same with the wings, select the one that we got. And then for the sail, there's only 3 options, the hex solar, the circle one, or the rectangle one. I like this hex one. And then now you'll be given the option to select the color as well as whether you want the ship to be matte or metallic. So if you want to change the look of it, I prefer the matte ones. And then you can go ahead and pick what color you want the ship to be. So like now before you go ahead and assemble, you will see that the ship stats at the top right are forever changing. So if you want high damage potential, you have to only assemble this when the stats over here at the bars look exactly the way you want them. So if you want shield strength, if you want maneuverability, damage potential, you have to make sure you have it in the section that you want it. So make sure you only press the assemble button when these bars line up in the exact way that you want them. In my case right now, I want a ship that has a very, very far hyperdrive, but I don't need a lot of damage because I have other ships for good damage. You'll see this is what the ship looks like. It's the S-Class ship. It's not going to have a lot of technology space. Unfortunately, you will have to unlock more spaces at the shop. And this is what your ship is going to look like. And we can go ahead and proceed in making the ship. And there we have it. We made our very own Starship. Let's go ahead and give this a test flight. And there we have our red and gray Starship that we just made. And you can also go ahead and change the color of the, the lights behind it by installing the, Starship trails that you can unlock with the Quicksilver currency at the anomalies. So if you want to have like these red outlines at the back, doing it like this, or like the yellow ones I have on my main ship, you can go ahead and do that. But that is essentially how you can make and craft your very own Starship. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.